viewers, Rectangular back, this time with an update to my recent news video showing the in-hand images for the 2015 Marvel Legends Odin wave, or Allfather wave. When I first put up the video, I didn't have time to show all of the photos from eBay or give my impressions of them, so I'm going to do that now, and stay tuned for the end for some exciting information. I have the UPC numbers for the entire wave. Alright, so first off we have Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers. And right off the bat you can see they used red plastic for her lower legs, so there's not enough paint covering those pegs there. The advantage is that when you articulate her feet, that you're not going to have paint rub down there. It's going to be very difficult to try to get the paint apps perfect on this figure with all the lines that she's got. Looks like for the most part they're doing a pretty good job. These could be factory rejects, so hopefully these are the worst of the worst that we're going to see. There's a on the back of the figure you can see yellow blotched on the upper part of her torso there under her right arm. So I would hate to think this is going to be how most of them are going to turn out. But you got the the yellow dots on her forearms. So hopefully they will do a good job on those. And yeah, I think the alternate head looks decent, except there's no paint on the flesh color plastic, so it's going to be very shiny, so I'll have to go over that with some paint. Looks like we got the same blast effects from Jubilee, which is fine with me. Again, the paint around the circle on her sash, or the buckle of her sash, that might need some touching up, but it looks like they've got some shading in her hair, which is nice. And then moving on, we've got Hawkeye, and not a whole lot of paint variation in this figure. Looks like he's got the same arm we got from the Winter Soldier movie figure, which is pretty cool. What else? Looks like the paint is pretty decent, not a whole lot of places for them to screw up. There's a little bit of the blue paint on his purple chest piece, that like chainmail, scale mail there on his chest. The H doesn't look too bad. It looks like it could use a little bit more purple there. On the back, nothing real special. Looks like they didn't really go over the feathers on his arrows on the quiver that well. But at least he's got feather or arrows, where the movie one didn't have them. And I guess, to be fair, they were supposed to be mechanically launched out of there. But yeah, it looks decent. I'm pretty excited to get this figure, mostly to use as my Dark Hawkeye. So looking forward to that. Next we've got Iron Fist, and right off the bat you can see they missed a lot of the black paint on the head. Good thing is it looks like they did sculpt in the mask, and it's not just painted on, it's actually sculpted on, and it looks like it's that softer plastic, like a gold plastic that they put on the flesh tone of the head. So that's kind of cool. It's got that, the paint is swirled into the plastic. Same thing with the forearms and the lower legs. And the sash, it looks like it's that paint swirled plastic, so that's pretty nice. And then you can see the joints in the forearms or the elbows. They're gonna have to probably need some more white paint to cover that up. Also the chest, they got some gold splattered there from the dragon on his chest, so hopefully most of these won't look this bad. Next we have Machine Man, and not a whole lot of paint variation on this guy. He's got the silver bands around his legs and arms. This one looks okay. It doesn't look great. It looks like it could use some more silver paint on those areas. The mask or the face looks like the paint is kind of all over the map on that. It's not great. Yeah, but otherwise, you know, I'm not a big fan of this character, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over this guy. Next, we have the King Thor Build-A-Figure, which is going to have the same torso and legs, just different arms and head and cape and weapons. So this looks decent. There is some paint variation in the armored arms, so that looks pretty decent. The beard looks, from this photo, doesn't look that great. It looks like the beard and the hair, if you look on the back, not really much in the way of shading, but it's kind of hard to tell from the light on this photo. Also, doesn't look like there's much in the way of shading on his cape on the back. Odin, man, I'm so excited to finally get an Odin figure. Again, the arms don't look that great. Kind of a pasty looking plastic there. No paint detail. Also, looks like the sculpt kind of is weird, where it was attached to the mold right there on the bicep. That's kind of a poor decision on their part. But paint looks pretty decent. Let's see. I can't remember if that helmet is removable. I'll have to go back and look at other photos. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of paint detail on the back of the cape either. My biggest complaint is that going back to the front, the way that the cape is attached to the figure, you're going to have to heat up those corners so that the discs will actually clear his shoulder and go to the front and not just be hanging out like it is in this picture. So that's, yeah, that could have been designed a little bit better, I think. And moving on to Scarlet Witch, I'm very excited to finally getting a new updated Scarlet Witch. That Toy Biz one that we have is horrible, and this is going to be a huge improvement. I'm not a big fan of Scarlet Witch, but I like female characters in general, or figures in general, and this is a welcome change to the one we had. Everything looks good. Not a whole lot, there's not a whole lot of paint detail or variation in the figure, but I kind of like this new cape design, and I like the paint shading in the hair, and it looks like they actually sculpted her torso piece with the costume covering her breasts, which is nice. Usually they just slap some paint on it and call it good, so it's nice that we're finally getting some, looks like, sculpted detail there on the chest. And next we have Sentry. Extremely happy to be getting a new Sentry. The Kit Bash one I have will probably just go get traded away for next to nothing, but pretty decent figures, nothing real special about it. I'm glad that they went with a yellow plastic on the forearms instead of blue, so that when you move his elbows you don't have paint chipping off there. Yellow paint is extremely hard to try to cover up and match, so very happy about that. The hair shading looks okay, not really any shading on the back of the cape. That's kind of a disappointment, but overall looks pretty good. I'm not sure how I feel about an open hand. I guess it's kind of good if you want him to hold a piece of debris or something, but usually he's going to be having two fists, so I guess maybe you can swap that out with your Hyperion, I don't know. And moving on, we have Thor, and don't really care about Marvel Now Thor, so I'm kind of sad that we got this instead of Bulldozer. Would have much preferred to get Bulldozer. since he's going to be about the same amount of plastic. And doesn't look like that helmet is removable, and there's no real detail in the sculpt or the paint on the back for his hair, so that just looks terrible in my opinion. Oh, you know what? It's not his hair. It's like a flap or something coming down from the back of the helmet. So I guess that can be excused, but it would have been nice to have a little bit of paint shading detail there. And that is it. So now we have the images I got off of Facebook. The Marvel Legends toy line page posted these of the figures in the package from, I can't remember the name of the guy who posted these, but finally he showed a stack of the figures, or the boxes, with the UPC codes, so I was able to zoom in and figure out what they are, and I confirmed them with some geek wizardry that I did online. So you know, I am pretty confident that these are the correct UPCs, and I will list them now here at the end. So you probably want to go ahead and pause the video here and either take a screenshot or write down any or all of the UPCs for each of the figures in the wave. I do not have the DPCI from Target yet, so hopefully we'll get that here in the next couple weeks. The UPC will come in very handy when you are calling stores to find out if they have a particular character you might be looking for, or figure you might be looking for, because we all know that people who work in stores who aren't familiar with these figures, you know, they just say, well, it's the purple guy. Well, and they don't even bother to read the package or anything. Then all you have to do is say, look under the package, and I'm looking for the UPC that ends in number 633 or whatever here is on the screen, and then you can find the specific character that you're looking for. So hopefully this information helps, and I will talk to you guys later.
Hey you, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below.